All right. So I've been thinking about this topic all week and I couldn't wait to get into it. Welcome to the English Mastery Podcast. I'm Dennis, and as always, I've got the one, the only Emily with me. Hey, Emily.
Hey Dennis, love being here. Today's topic is, yeah, it's a good one.
It really is. Today we're talking about something that honestly I feel like a lot of English learners kind of stress out about, and that's their accent. Like specifically how to embrace it, how to feel confident about it, and how to make sure people actually understand you.
Right. And I think that's the thing, it's not about sounding like a Hollywood actor or like some kind of robot. It's really about being understood and being confident while you're doing it.
Exactly. And if you're listening to this on your commute, at the gym, or wherever you are, hey, try repeating some of what we say. That's one of the best ways to really absorb this stuff. Let's get into it. Okay, Emily. So let's start at the very beginning because I think a lot of learners hear the word accents and they immediately feel like it's a problem, something to fix. And I don't think that's the right way to look at it.
Totally. And here's the thing, your accent is actually your story. Like it tells people where you're from, what languages you speak, how much work you've already put into English. It's kind of personal, you know?
Right. It's like a fingerprint for your voice.
Ooh, look at you being all poetic, Dennis.
I have my moments. But seriously, there's this idea that the goal of learning English is to erase your accent, and that's just not true. The real goal is clarity and confidence. That's it.
Exactly. And clarity, that's actually one of our vocabulary words today. Clarity means the quality of being easy to understand. Easy to understand. And that's what we're going for. Not perfection, clarity.
And there's actually a phrase I love: clarity beats perfection. Because if you're spending all your mental energy trying to sound perfect, you're going to freeze up, you're going to go quiet. And that defeats the whole purpose, right?
Exactly. And that actually brings up a really important point. So many professionals, like busy professionals, stay quiet in meetings or in conversations because they're worried they sound wrong. But the thing is, most people just need to understand you. They don't need you to sound like a news anchor.
Yeah, and here's a great way to think about it. Think of your accent like a company logo. It's unique, it's yours, and it actually helps people remember you. What really matters is your message.
That's a great way to put it. Your accent can be a strength, not a problem.
Okay, so we know clarity is the goal, but like how? How do we actually get there? Emily, what are the big things, the fast win?
So there are three things that really make the biggest difference quickly. And they're not complicated. First, slow down. Second, stress your key words. And third, use clean rhythm. Those are the three upgrades.
Slow down is number one?
Slow down is number one, always. Because here's the thing, when you speak too fast, even native speakers can sound unclear. Like even fluent English speakers mumble when they rush. So if you slow down, you automatically sound more in control, more confident. You know what I mean?
Totally. And pace, that's another great vocabulary word. Pace is the speed at which you speak. And a lot of learners actually speed up when they're nervous, which is like the exact opposite of what you want.
Right. And then the second upgrade, keywords. So a keyword is the main word that carries the important meaning in your sentence. And what you want to do is put a little extra power on those words. Stress them, make them land.
Like, I need the report by Friday.
Yes, exactly like that. Report, Friday. Those are your keywords. And when you stress them, your listener, even if they miss some of your other words, they still catch the meaning. That's clarity in action.
And rhythm. What is clean rhythm?
So, rhythm in English is the pattern of strong and weak sounds. And clean rhythm, that means speaking in short, steady chunks, not one giant run-on sentence, you know? Break it up, give it some shape. That makes your speech so much easier to follow in like meetings or calls or presentations.
So, slow down, stress keywords, use clean rhythm. Those are three things that any listener can start doing right now. Actually, hey, if you're somewhere you can speak out loud, try it. Pick a sentence and stress your keywords. See how it feels. Okay, so here's something I think is really, really smart. Instead of trying to fix everything at once, which is overwhelming and kind of pointless, there's this idea of focusing on one high impact sound.
Yeah, one sound. That's it. Because, for a lot of learners, there's one particular sound that causes the most confusion, the most misunderstandings. And it's different for everyone. Like for some people, it's final consonants. The T at the end of start, the K at the end of check. For others, it's sounds that are really similar, like R and L or B and V.
And those final consonants, that's a big one for Korean speakers, right? Because Korean syllables don't usually end the same way English ones do.
Exactly. And that's the thing. You don't need to fix everything. You just need to find the one sound that causes the biggest misunderstandings for you specifically. And then just practice that. 5 minutes a day.
5 minutes?
5 minutes. That's all. Consistent, focused practice, even short bursts, it adds up really fast. And the word practice, by the way, that's to repeat something in order to improve, which is kind of what we're all doing here on this podcast, right?
Exactly. That's the whole point. And even just listening and repeating along with us count as practice. So, yeah, keep doing that. Okay, so my favorite tip is coming up. Emily, tell them about the voice memo thing because I think this one is like genuinely game changing.
Okay, so here's a really simple habit. Once a week, record a short voice memo, like 20 seconds. Read the same paragraph, the same short text every single time, and then compare your recordings.
And that's it?
That's it. Because here's the thing, when you hear yourself improving, your confidence just goes up. And confidence is, let's do the vocabulary, confidence is a strong belief in yourself and in your ability. And you can't build that belief without evidence. The recordings are your evidence.
That's actually really powerful because a lot of learners feel like they're not improving even when they are. They just don't have anything to compare to.
Right. And to record, that means to save your sound so you can listen later. So pull out your phone, open the voice memo app, and just do it. Same paragraph once a week. You'll be surprised how fast you notice progress.
And the beautiful thing is, it's low pressure. It's just you. No one's listening. You can be as imperfect as you want.
Unlike someone who is always on a podcast and asked to sound good.
Yeah, I see what you're doing there. Moving on. Okay, so we've talked about the habits, the upgrades, the practice, but what about in the moment? Like you're in a meeting, you're on a call, and someone looks confused. What do you actually do?
You rephrase, and rephrase is actually one of our vocabulary words. It means to say something again in a different way. And the sentence that I love for this is, let me say that another way.
Such a simple sentence.
So simple, and it does two things. One, it buys you a moment to reorganize your words, and two, it shows confidence because you're not panicking, you're not going silent, you're just adapting, which is, what great communicators do.
Right. And I think there's something really freeing about that because a lot of learners feel like if someone doesn't understand them, it's a failure. But it's not. It's just part of communication. Even native speakers rephrase all the time.
Exactly. And understand, that's another vocab word. To understand means to know the meaning of something. And the goal is to help your listener understand you the first time. But when that doesn't happen, just rephrase. Keep it moving.
And here's the thing, the fact that you're listening to this podcast right now, that's already like a clarity exercise. You're training your ear. You're getting comfortable with the rhythm of English conversation. That stuff matters. All right, let's do a quick vocabulary run through. These are the key words from today's topic. Emily, you want to take us through them?
Absolutely. And listeners, if you can, repeat these out loud after us. That's a great way to practice.
First one, accent.
Accent. That's the way a person pronounces words, often influenced by their first language. Example, my accent is Korean, but my English is clear.
Love it. Clarity.
Clarity, the quality of being easy to understand. Clarity is more important than sounding perfect. And that is the theme of this whole episode right there.
Confidence.
Confidence, a strong belief in yourself and your ability. Her confidence increased after regular speaking practice.
Pace.
Pace, the speed you speak or move. A slower pace makes your speech easier to follow.
Keyword.
Keyword, a main word that carries the important meaning. Stress the key words when you explain your idea.
Rhythm.
Rhythm, a pattern of sound and timing in speech. English rhythm often uses strong and weak beats. And that one's really worth thinking about because English rhythm is actually quite different from a lot of other languages.
Practice.
Practice, to repeat something to improve. Practice one difficult sound for 5 minutes a day.
Record.
Record, to save sound or video so you can listen later. I record my voice to check my pronunciation.
And rephrase.
Rephrase, to say something again in a different way. If someone looks confused, rephrase the sentence. And that one, that's your rescue sentence. Keep it ready.
And don't forget understand, to know the meaning of something. I want clients to understand me the first time. That's really the whole goal, isn't it? Okay, so let's get into the discussion section. And these are questions that honestly you can think about for yourself as you're listening or come back to them later.
Yeah, and these are the kind of questions we ask our own learners. So, real talk here.
First one, and I'll start with you, Emily. When do people tend to feel most confident speaking English? Is it at work, with friends, or like in an online situation?
Oh, that's a great one. And from what I've seen, most learners actually feel most confident with friends, because there's less pressure, there's no judgment. But the same learner might completely freeze up in like a formal work meeting. And I think the gap between those two situations, that's where the real growth happens. That's the zone to work in.
Right. Like you've got to kind of bring that friend conversation energy into the professional space, which is easier said than done, but it's possible.
Totally possible. And the second question, what part of your pronunciation causes the most misunderstandings? Because and this is important, it's usually just one thing, not everything. One sound, one pattern.
Nodding. And once you know what it is, you can actually do something about it, which, right, brings us back to that idea of practicing one high impact sound.
Exactly. And here's a powerful question to sit with. What would change in your work life if you felt like just 20% more confident in English? Not 100%, just 20%.
That's actually a big question.
It is, because, for a lot of people, 20% more confidence means they speak up in meetings, they ask for what they need, they pitch their ideas, and that changes careers, changes lives, honestly.
Absolutely. And then, how could you practice speaking in a simple daily routine? Like, not some big complicated program, just your day.
So some ideas. Narrate what you're doing while you make coffee. Read your emails out loud before you send them. Record a 20-second voice memo. Talk to yourself in English while you're commuting. These are tiny things that compound over time. You know what I mean?
I definitely talk to myself. Whether it's in English or not is another story.
As long as you're talking, Dennis, as long as you're talking.
And the last discussion point, and this one I really love, is an accent a strength?
Yes, full stop. And here's why. An accent shows that you speak more than one language. Most native English speakers, they only speak one. So when you speak English with your accent, you're actually demonstrating something remarkable. You've done the hard work. Your accent is proof of that.
That's a really powerful way to look at it. And I think that's really the heart of what this episode is about. Embrace your accent. It's your story. It's your strength. Okay, so let's bring it all together. The big takeaways from today's episode of the English Mastery Podcast.
So your accent is part of your story, not a problem to fix. Clarity beats perfection every single time. The 3 fast upgrades: slow your pace, stress your keywords, use clean rhythm. Focus on practicing one high-impact sound, just 5 minutes a day. Record yourself once a week and compare. And when someone doesn't understand you, rephrase. Let me say that another way. Done.
That is such a solid list. And the real goal, right, is connection. When you embrace your accent, when you speak with calm energy and clear words, people listen. And when people listen, your confidence grows. That's the win.
Exactly. So take one thing from today, just one. Slow down, record yourself, find your one sound. Whatever it is, start there.
And hey, if you are enjoying the English Mastery Podcast, we've got even more for you. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel, All About English Mastery. That's All About English Mastery on YouTube. We've got videos, tips, and a lot more content to help you grow your English every single day. The link is in the show notes. Go check it out.
Yes, come find us over there. We love seeing our listeners on YouTube too. It's a great community.
All right, that's going to do it for today. Thanks so much for spending this time with us. It really, really means a lot. I'm Dennis,
And I'm Emily.
and this has been the English Mastery Podcast. Keep going, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next one.